Okay, let's go back on the record. The record reflects the presence of all 12 jurors. Mr. Winslow is present. All counsel are present with the exception of Ms. Barr. Ms. Barr had a mandatory appearance in federal court this morning, so she's downtown, so she would be here otherwise, but she did have that court appearance that she had to make. I want to thank you all for being here. This is a very critical time because I'm glad all of you showed up this morning and are staying healthy. I just need to let you know that if one of you is unable to continue with your services, we would seat an alternate and you have to start deliberations anew. I mean, from the very beginning, because everybody has a vote. And if we seat an alternate, that alternate would also have a vote as well. So I know you've been diligent. You're ending your 4th day of deliberation. So I'm hoping that everybody stays healthy throughout this process, because otherwise you have to start all over again. All right? So thank you all for being here. We're going to resume with the readback that we were still on Jane Doe number 4, and I think we'd gone up to the lunch break on the day that she had testified. So we're going to start with the afternoon session and go through with her testimony and then to Nicole Edwards. It'll probably take just over an hour. All right? So with that said, we'll go off the record, and Stephanie, you can continue the readback.
Thank you. Continued cross-examination by Mr. Carlos. Question. So, Ms. Doe, when we left, we were discussing the second incident, the night you were assaulted. Do you remember that? Answer, yes. Question. All right. So we know that you remember everything up until the couch, and then you remember being in the room with Mr. Winslow behind you, right? Answer, yes. Question. Okay, so at some point somebody told him to stop, and he did stop. Answer, yes. Question. And right before that, that's when you noticed the people doing the filming, right? Answer, yes. Question. And so is it your testimony that you did tell that to Detective Emig that somebody was filming you? Answer, yes. Question. The first phone call, right? Answer, yes. Question. And you are certain of that? Answer, yes. Question. All right. So then Matt helps you get up, put your clothes on. Matt picks you up and carries you either downstairs or it's one single level you can't remember, right? Answer, correct. Question. But you didn't see anybody else on the way to the car? Answer, I did not. Question. You remember it's a BMW just by the placard, right? Answer, yes. Question. And then he puts you into the passenger seat? Answer, yes. Question. And then starts driving? Answer, yes. Question. Now, once again, we've talked about this before. This is 2003? Answer, yes. Question. Did you see whether or not Matt had a cell phone? Answer, I don't remember. Question. Did you see him calling anybody? Answer, no. Question. How far did you drive? Answer, I don't remember. Question. Do you remember the time? Answer, no, I do not. Question. Okay, you were crying during this period of time? Answer, yes. Question. And was it during this period of time well, let me ask you this. Did Matt ask you whether you feel you've been raped up in the bedroom? Answer, in the car. Question. So those questions came in the car? Answer, yes. Question, right? And you said 3 times in the car he said that? Answer, yes. Question. Did he ever say that in front of Nikki or Chris? Answer, no. Question. So just you and him in the car for whatever period of time it took to get from point A to point B? Answer, yes. Question. All right, so you drove up and you saw Chris and Amanda standing outside of whose car? Answer, Chris and Nicole. Question. I'm sorry, Chris and Answer, in front of Nicole's car. Question. Excuse me, Chris and Nicole in front of Nicole's car. Question, Nicole's car. What car was Nicole driving at the time? Answer, a Ford Explorer. Question, all right, and you specifically remember this? Answer, yes. Question, was it in front of a house or in a parking lot, do you remember? Answer, it was in front of a home. Question, in front of a home. Do you know whose home it was? Answer, I do not. Question, do you know what neighborhood it was? Answer, I do not. Question, was it, you don't remember how far you had been driving? Answer, I don't. Question, how about the drive back from there to Nicole's house? Do you remember that at all? Answer, I do. Question, was it a short drive or a long drive? Answer, I remember being in the vehicle. I just remember crying and not knowing the time. Question, it's a pretty traumatic event for you? Answer, yes. Question, all right, but it's your memory that Chris, either Rios as you call him, or Resto, was standing next to Nikki? Answer, I don't know if they were standing directly next to one another, but I know they were standing by her car. Question, okay, did it appear to you, well, they were out of the car, right? Answer, yes. Question, did it appear to you that they were waiting for you? Answer, yes. Question, and did Matt tell you that they were waiting for you? Answer, not that I can remember if he said that. Question, when Matt carried you from the room to the car, did he tell you he was taking you to Nikki? Answer, he told me he was taking me to my friends, yes. Question, okay, did he say your friend Nikki or just your friend? Answer, he said my friend. Question, but you took that to mean Nikki? Answer, yes. Question, because he had met Nikki before? Answer, yes. Question, and you guys ran with each other? Answer, yes. Question, so when you get to Nikki, did you talk to Chris at all? Answer, no. Question, did you tell Chris anything happened to you? Answer, no. Question, so when you were in the car with Nikki, you said, did you tell him the details of what happened to you in the room? Answer, I did not. Question, all you said was, you said no and he kept going? Answer, I kept telling him to stop. Question, and you were crying? Answer, yes. Question, all right, so on direct earlier today, you said you didn't want to report it because you were a teenager and you had been drinking. Something to that effect, right? Answer, yes. Question, and that was at that point, like, directly right after? Answer, yes. Question, correct? Because you didn't know who Mr. Winslow was? Answer, I did not. Question, and you didn't know who his father was? Answer, correct. Question, but later you did know, right? Answer, yes. Question, how long after that? Answer, less than a week. Question, so after the incident and before you found out about Mr. Winslow, just he was this guy who went too far with you and you told that to Nikki? Answer, yes. Question, that's what you said to Nikki, right? Answer, yes. Question, you didn't relay any of the details of what happened inside the room? Answer, no. Question, didn't tell her about the video, correct? Answer, I did not. Question, didn't tell her about Matt being involved? Answer, no. Question, and Matt knew Nikki, didn't he? If you know. Answer, we all met at the same time, so I believe so, yes. Question, so then you find out Mr. Winslow is a college athlete at the University of Miami? Answer, I didn't know he was a college athlete, I just knew who his father was. Question, you knew his father's a pro football player? Answer, correct. Question, and so was that the reason you decided that it wouldn't be worth your while to report it? Answer, I don't understand. Question, it was because his father was an NFL football player, or famous football player. That's the reason you didn't think anyone would believe you? Answer. It was more, I was a 17-year-old drinking underage, and the fact that I had messed around with him 2 weeks prior, why would anybody believe me? Question. Okay, did you think that you did anything to cause any of this? Answer. No. Question. But you wouldn't know, if you blacked out, you wouldn't know anything that happened during the blackout, right? Answer. Correct. Question. So when you interviewed with the district attorney, did you ever make this statement? In a sense, people knew that I was this girl thinking that nobody would believe anything I really said. And in my mind, because I blacked out, I don't know what I may have started. Do you remember saying that? Answer. Yes. Question. So when that was during your interview with the prosecution, correct? Answer. Correct. Question. And so what you meant by that is because, if I'm wrong, you can correct me. But when you say, I don't know what I may have started or what, that would lead me to believe that because you were in some either blackout state or intoxication state, that you really don't know what action you might have taken that led to a certain point? Answer. Yes. Question. Is that fair for me to say? Answer. Yes. Question. You said, if I started it or he started it, or if I said something, but in my mind I was like, I would never like that. Answer. Correct. Question. Right? That's what you said, right? Answer. Yes. Question. And it's fair for me to say that this has perplexed you. The whole blackout thing has perplexed you over the years, not remembering anything? Answer. I'm not too sure what perplexed means. Question. It's something that's been on your mind, the fact that you can't remember that period of time? Answer. Yes. Question. You even said during your interview that you thought about going to a hypnotist to figure out how you blocked it? Answer. Yes. Question. Yeah, in fact, the statement you made is that I even thought about going to a hypnotist just to, see if it's just me that's blocked it out or, that piece of it. Do you remember saying that? Answer. No. Question. Your statement is, I'd even thought about going to a hypnotist just to see if it's just me that's blocked it out or, that piece of it. Do you remember saying that? Answer. I may have, but I don't remember those exact words. Question. Okay. Answer. But I know I said that. Question. Something similar to that? Answer. Something similar to that. Question. So when you said, if you said something similar to it, when you say, if it's just me that blocked it, does that mean that, it might not be related to any type of alcohol, but you just blocked it out yourself? Answer. I meant to say, that whole night, it's 15 years ago. Obviously, there's times it's been some time. Question. Right. Answer. It's been some time. Allow me to help forget to, if there's more to this that I could remember. Is it just what, you know what I mean? What I've told, is there any possible way that if I were to be a hypnotist, I could go back to the whole night and see everything else? That's kind of what I meant. Question. Right. And those are in relation to your previous statements about, what you may have said or how you may have acted. That's something that you're referring to, right? Answer. Maybe. Yes. Question. Right, because up until this night, your only contact with Mr. Winslow, might have been strange, but it wasn't vile, right? Answer. Correct. Question. And when asked to stop, he stopped, correct? Answer. Correct. Question. And when Matt was asked to leave, he left, correct? Answer. Yes. Question. So the two things that you're describing are similar, except for the one on the second. Essentially, you blacked out a period of time, and when he was told to stop, he didn't. Answer. Yes. Question. That's the difference, right? Answer. Yes. Question. Now I don't want to belabor the second incident with you. I know this is difficult, but the actual sexual conduct you remember being on all fours, correct? On your own, using your own force, right? Answer, I don't remember my hands being down. I just know that my chest was pressing against the bed, like my face was being pushed in, so I don't remember where my hands were at initially when I came to. Question. Well, I mean, you testified at the prelim, correct? Answer, correct. Question. You recall at the prelim you said that you were on all fours. You remember that, don't you? Answer, yes. Question. So then you said here on direct that you then pushed your hands backwards to push against Mr. Winslow's thighs, and that put you down onto the bed, right? Answer, yes. Question. So you felt all of that. You were under control at that point? Answer, yes. Question. So the point of this is when you came to, you were already on all fours, essentially. Answer, yes. Question. I mean, you weren't like sprayed out on the ground, like lying flat on anything, right? Answer, no. Question. Okay, so with Nicole then, you said on direct that although you didn't use the name Kellen, she knew it was Kellen? Answer, yes. Question. She knew it was Kellen because of your previous contact with him? Answer, yes. Question. And you said that he was big and something to that effect? No? Answer, no. Question. What made you believe that she thought it was Kellen? Answer, I'm not understanding you. Question. What made you believe that that Nicole believed you were talking about Kellen? Answer, I'm still confused on what your question is. Question, okay. What made you, when you spoke to Amanda, you said she knew it was Kellen? The court, just a minute, you're talking about Nicole? Mr. Carlos, Nicole. Question, when you spoke to Nicole, you thought she knew you were talking about Kellen? Answer, so after the incident, his question is, when I got into her vehicle and started talking to her? Question, yes. The court, is that what you're talking about, Mr. Carlos? Mr. Carlos, yes. The court, just be more specific as to which part of the evening you're referring to. Question, so in the vehicle with Nikki, you said that she knew you were talking about Kellen. Answer, yes. Question, what made you believe that? Answer, I'm not sure. I don't know why. I mean, maybe she knew? I don't know. I can't answer for her. Question, she wasn't at the house, correct? Answer, correct. Question, and she wasn't in the car that got you to the house, right? Answer, correct. Question, and she wasn't there when you were taken out of the house? Answer, correct. Question, so just is it the fact that you had been with Mr. Winslow 2 weeks before and had been seen with him earlier that night that she got that impression, if you know? Answer, I don't know. Question, but you certainly didn't tell her it was Kellen? Answer, I did not say that. Question, and as to the earlier comments about, what you may have started, do you recall telling, that she knew it was Kellen because, yes, I did tell her that we're doing things, but I never told her the details or how things escalated? Do you recall that? Answer, her doing things? I don't remember. Question, do you recall testifying in the preliminary hearing? Answer, correct. Question, and your testimony was, because I guess I did tell her and we were doing things. Mr. Carlos, I'm referring to page 37, lines 3 through 12. Question, quote, I did tell her that we were doing things, but I never told her details or how things escalated, end quote. Those are your words? Answer, I don't remember. I'm sorry, I don't remember saying that. Question, well, if you did say that, what would you mean by escalated? Answer, to the point of where I was telling him to stop. Question, okay, but you would agree with me that when you say escalated means that you were essentially part of it from the start? Answer, I don't know. Question, okay. Answer, the fact that I said stop. Question, right, I understand. but once again, your words were escalated, so I'm just wondering why you would use that. Answer. Because it escalated to a point where somebody is penetrating me with their fucking penis. When somebody tells you to stop, you stop, okay? Regardless of whatever I may have, question, said, answer, said. I don't know what I said. Question, or done? I mean, it's, look, you don't remember very much of a particular segment of the evening. That's true, isn't it? Answer, yes. Question, and we don't know how long that segment is, whether it's 2 minutes or 2 hours. We don't know, do we? Answer, no. Question, right. So the point is that you have said things. My question is, you have said things in your testimony and in your interviews with law enforcement where you think that you may have done something or said something which contributed. Is that fair for me to say? Answer, that's fair for you to say. Question, Chris and Nikki, were they dating at the time this occurred? Answer, they were not. Question, they were not. They were friends though? Answer, they were friends. Question, and do you know whether or not Nikki knew Mr. Winslow? Answer, I don't know. Question, answer. The way we knew Chris was because Nicole was talking with Mel John. Mel John's sister is Joanne, who's Chris's girlfriend. Question, okay. Answer, so I don't know if outside of when Nikki hangs out with Mel John, if she knew Kellen or she knew Matt, I don't know, because we didn't live in the same neighborhood. I lived in Escondido and she lived in Mira Mesa. Question, okay, and how long had you known Nikki from before this? Answer, I've known Nikki from freshman year, so 2000. Question, so you've known her about 3 years prior to this incident? Answer, yes. Question, you guys are best friends? Answer, yes. Mr. Carlos, nothing further, Your Honor. Redirect examination by Mr. Owens. Ms. Doe, you've been asked a lot of questions this afternoon and earlier this morning about what you shared with the sergeant, as well as what you shared with the district attorney's office in July of 2018. When you called the sheriff's department, were you attempting to be as accurate as possible about what had happened? Answer, yes. Question, did the sergeant in fact tell you before taking your statement that there would be a longer, more detailed interview that would be handled by the district attorney investigators? Answer, yes. Question, did he ask you to just generally tell him what had happened? Answer, yes. Question, now in terms of the question of whether you were picked up by Mr. Winslow, do you recall telling the sergeant that you had in fact driven in Mr. Winslow's black SUV that night? Question, answer, that I was in his vehicle? Question, yes. Answer, yes. Question, now in terms of what you had drank that night, do you recall telling the sergeant that you had consumed alcohol that night? Answer, yes. Question, in terms of when you said that you had been sexually assaulted, did you tell them that that had taken place in a bedroom? Answer, yes. Question, did you tell the sergeant that Mr. Winslow had penetrated you vaginally? Answer, yes. Question, when you were talking to him over the phone, do you know whether that conversation was recorded or not? Answer, no. Question, after you had talked to him about what Mr. Winslow had done to you, did he tell you that someone would reach out to you to take a follow-up, more lengthy statement? Answer, yes. Question, and did an investigator from the district attorney's office contact you in order to do that? Answer, yes. Question, when you sat down at your home for the couple of hour interview that we talked about on direct examination, did you attempt to be honest and accurate about what you recalled had happened? Answer, I'm sorry, can you? Question, when you met with the district attorney investigators and myself in July of 2018, were you attempting to be honest and accurate? Answer, yes. Question, now when we sat down together and we asked you questions about how you came to know Mr. Winslow and how it is that this came to happen, did you use the term escalated at some point? Answer, no. Question, when was it that you used the term escalated? Answer, I'm not too sure, sorry. Question, Is it hard to be able to remember the specific times that you've talked about what happened between the interviews that you've done and the testimony that you've given in preliminary hearings? Answer, yes. Question. When you're being asked those types of questions, it can be confusing. Now, in terms of what you recall having happened about what Mr. Winslow did to you, have you been consistent through each of those interviews, each of those times you've testified about him penetrating you vaginally? Answer, yes. Question. Have you said that you were not conscious at the time that he was penetrating you vaginally? Answer, yes. Question. Have you said that you repeatedly told him to stop? Answer, yes. Question. Have you said that you told him to stop and he did not? Answer, yes. Question. Now, do you remember saying that to Ms. Edwards, Nikki, on that night that you just kept telling him to stop? Answer, that's all I would say. That's all I had said. Just stop. I just told him to just stop. Question. Mr. Carlos referred to a portion of your preliminary hearing transcript where he asked you about how Nikki, the woman we're referring to that was present that night, your best friend, how she knew who you were referring to when you said that. Do you recall the specific questioning that surrounded that answer? Answer, no. Question, do you recall being asked at any point in time, did you end up talking to Nicole about more details about what happened? Do you remember that question? Answer, yes. Question, did you answer no? Answer, no. Yes. Sorry, I answered no. Yes. Question, were you then asked, did you ever tell her who you were referring to when you told him who you were referring to when you said, I told him to stop and he didn't? Did you answer, she knew it was Kellen? Answer, I don't remember. Question, would it refresh your recollection to refer to the actual transcript? Answer, yes, please. Mr. Owens, and that's page 37, lines 3 through 6. Pardon me, 3 through 8. So just take a moment and beginning at the top of line 3, read that to yourself and let us know when you've had a chance to read that. The court, do you want her to read through line 8 or line 12? Mr. Owens, I'm asking that she read through line 12, Your Honor. Question, have you had a chance to read that? Beginning at line 3 and ending at line 12? Answer, okay, yes. Question, does that refresh your recollection as to that question and answer? Answer, yes. Question, did you in fact say she knew it was Kellen when asked if you ever told her who you were referring to when you told him to stop? Answer, yes. Question, now did you use the term escalated during your testimony at the preliminary hearing? Answer, yes. Question, what did you mean when you say that things escalated when you were describing what happened on this night with Mr. Winslow? Answer, to escalate to what exactly happened. For me to tell somebody to stop doing something, I just thought I was going to a house party. Question, now did you think that something like that would happen to you in that situation? Answer, no. Question, is that what you were describing when you say that things escalated? Answer, yes. Question, in terms of some of the discussion that you had with Mr. Winslow, you were asked whether or not there was information in an article, and I'm referring to June of 2018, after you had seen on the news what was happening with Mr. Winslow, and had reached out to Ms. Edwards in the Instagram messaging. Do you recall the question by Mr. Carlos about what you had seen in that article? Answer, yes. Question, do you recall him asking you questions about what people in the media were speculating about what may happen in the course of that prosecution? Answer, yes. Question, now did that factor in any way to your decision to report this case to the Sheriff's Department? Answer, yes and no. Question, what do you mean by that? Answer, it factored in because what he did to me was wrong, and it was 15 years ago. And again, to this day, who's going to believe me? It's my truth against his, but the fact that he's done it to these women or supposedly is being accused of. Question, Now, in terms of that conversation with Ms. Edwards, was that the time when you were talking to her about why you were going to come forward? Answer, yes. Question, and in terms of what you reviewed, did you see information that at least speculated that there may be some sort of brain injury defense? Do you recall that? Answer, yes. Question, and when you're saying that it factored in some way, yes and no, as to why you came forward, did you openly discuss that with Ms. Edwards? Answer, yes. Question, and did she respond to you based upon what she knew from having happened? Answer, yes. Question, now in the course of that conversation, do you recall, was this all during text messaging? Answer, yes. Question, and in terms of what Nicole was telling you then, did she in fact tell you that she recalled what had happened and that what you had to say would be relevant to the case? Answer, yes. Question, now you were asked on cross-examination about what you discussed with Nikki. Looking at Court's Exhibit 155, is that the portion where you were discussing what you had seen regarding the news article about a possible brain injury defense or something to that effect? Showing you Court's Exhibit 155. Answer, yes. Question, and looking at Court's Exhibit 155, was that in response to Nicole asking you, how do you feel now? Answer, yes. Question, and what is it that you said in response to her when she asked you, how do you feel now? Answer, do you want me to read what I wrote? Question, yes, you can. Answer, totally understand. Oh, I just saw it this morning and started crying. I'm happy they caught him, but feel so sorry for his wife and children. I just hope that they have enough to hold him, because I was reading another article that they were trying to blame it on a brain injury, which is bull because he was doing this before he was in the NFL. Question, did you in fact say, which is bull, because he was doing this shit before he was in the NFL? Answer, yes. Question, was that the context that brought up the fact that you had read this in a news article? Answer, yes. Question, now when you were talking to Nicole about that, did that ultimately result in her encouraging you to report this to the Sheriff's Department? Answer, yes. Question, and did you that day? Answer, yes. Question, now we discussed some of the people that you've spoken to about this. When you had reported this to the Sheriff's Department, were you thinking about your ex-boyfriend, Brandon Guillermo, at any point in time? Not initially, no. Question, were you thinking about any conversations that you had had with him or even your husband in the years prior? Answer, yes. Question, did you share that type of detailed information with the sergeant when he took the initial summary statement? Answer, no. Question, on June 18th? Answer, no. Question, was that information that you then shared with the District Attorney's Office when we met with you on July 6th of 2018? Answer, yes. Mr. Owens, nothing further. Recross by Mr. Carlos. Question, you were asked on direct whether or not you made the statement about things escalating in the prelim. Do you recall that now, right, after reading the transcript? Answer, yes. Question, so yes, you did make that statement? Answer, yes. Question, all right, prior to this evening, right, on the night you were assaulted, had you ever blacked out before? Not that I know of, no. Question, all right, so you never experienced any type of loss of consciousness or anything like that? Answer, no. Question, and is it your testimony that you've never had more than 3 drinks prior, and I'm just talking about prior to 2003, that you never had more than 3 beers? Answer, I have. Question, okay, and did you black out? Answer, not to my knowledge, no. Question, had you had more than 3 drinks or more than, had you had more than 3 drinks on more than 5 occasions? Answer, the majority of the time, I couldn't even handle past finishing the 3rd. Question, on more than one occasion, you've had more than 3 drinks, is that what you're saying? Answer, I've had, yes. Question, okay, and on those occasions, and I'm talking only about prior to 2003, Prior to the night of your assault, you've never blacked out before? Answer, not to my acknowledgement, no. Question, and did you, so when you say, just so we're clear, no, the blackout, no memory whatsoever, not even a haze that comes in? Answer, like if I was drinking with a friend at their house, did I ever black? I'm not. Question, all right, the couch to the bedroom, there's nothing. Answer, I don't remember. Question, just completely out? Answer, completely out. The witness was excused.
I'm sorry?
The witness was then excused.
Okay. All right, that concludes change number 4, so we'll move on to Nicole Edwards. All right, you need to take a break? Yes, sir.
Can I have 5 minutes to go use the restroom?
Absolutely. Why don't we all take a 10-minute break? It'll give the court reporter a chance to switch gears. So go ahead and you want to go out the door of the courtroom then, and we'll see you back here in 10 minutes. All right? Please remember the admonition.